stages as a 2-0. So Kanga does have on paper the upper hand, having that experience, having also that confidence, knowing that they've bet Vulcan Red before. Maybe they can do again today.
Maybe is the question for both these teams right now. Kanga versus Vulcan Red. I will say though, eyes on the factor that happened yesterday. Vulcan Red didn't have a good time, and they brought out the it's right on our screen. The Angela City has heaven falls on everybody's expectations as Angela is just filling up the screen right now. I'm very confident it's gonna be Dex. It's gonna be Dex.
Wait. Pause for a second. How do we have 4 Angela Lords? But the one person who actually did play Angela in the game in MRI last week, Tinny Valkyrie, doesn't have a Lord. I just love that. That was just something I had to point out. But anyway, back to the bans and protects. First ban coming out is going to be Jeff and Adam Warlock for our starting band. And Vulcan Red is going to choose to protect Ultron. We just saw Ultron in the previous map, and my goodness, it was extremely strong in the hands of Salvation. I'm excited to see what Vulcan Red cooks up here in this this current game.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're going to see this next protect coming out for Kanga Esports. They've already locked out the Jeff, locked out the Mantis from Vulcan Red's hero pool. What are they going to protect for their own to secure their victory? And it's going to be Ultron as well. Both these teams are going to take some metallic madness to the skies right here. But at the same time, Kanga's going to flip it, and they're not going to have access to the Mantis either. That's going to give both teams the top desired strategist at the same time as locking out the other one. Now we're in the double ban round. Double bans are dangerous and really change the tide of a picks and bans phase. I'm curious to see what they're going to double ban.
Yeah, this double ban, second phase of the ban section of this ban and phase is going to be both strategists, a Lunar Snow and Invisible Woman. We saw Invisible Woman in ban earlier tonight, but I think it's something that's become a bit more popular now in the playoffs, because we didn't see it much at all in the group stage. But Lunar Snow ban, we've been seeing so many teams run the Lunar Snow. So it's exciting to see what happens to a team when they're forced off of Lunar Snow and to play something else.
Playing something else could be the factor here. You know what? I like something else. I like what Isaac's got going on. I like the idea of a bit of blade. Get down and dirty with the sword, get the melee going, could be big, but Final Protect rolling in from Vulcan Red, and it's gonna be... not Final Protect, sorry. Final Protect is now gonna be... oh, it's gonna be Invisible Woman. Yep, correct. Sue Storm is locked in alongside the Ultron. They'll have the boundaries, they'll have the rage, they'll have massive sustain, which I also want to mention, these are the two strategists that best sustain flyers. More than anything, I think I know what Vulcan Red's going for. We've seen it before. I have a feeling we are going to see Angela again, and it's definitely going to happen on Hell's Heaven. We're talking about the pit of fire, of lava, you name it, they will go down. But
pick your hero.
Double Strange Ban is pretty crazy. I just took notice of that. Both teams do not have access to Doctor Strange. There will be no last chance portals on Domination today.
That always makes things more exciting. Though I actually am starting to really enjoy the portal, the last hope, the last-ditch effort from a Doctor Strange team to try and get the team onto the point and turn things around. So we don't have any last-minute heroics coming out from both teams, which could make things a bit more exciting, though, as we get into Hell's Heaven.
Oh, going into the action. Hell's Heaven's looking spicy. Curious to see what's going on. Okay, so what I'm suspecting here, as these teams are loading up into Hell's Heaven, as we know, beautiful map, Hydra's Charter of Space, it's a lot of action, a lot of lore, the Marvel fans know it best, but what I know best is how these teams are going to fly out of those doors. I'm going to give emphasis on fly more than ever I see, because we know Tinny Valkyrie is going to bring out the Angela. It's the bread and butter at this point. And all I'm wondering for Vulcan Red is if they've got the bread and butter, who's bringing the cheese? Who's bringing the eggs? Who's making the full club sandwich as a whole? Who's going to fill out the entire breakfast feast for us right now? Because right now, you're done cooking. It's time to eat. Let's get into it.
Speaking of it, of course, Domin here playing Jeff. Actually, no. I lie. They're going to be using Jeff for speed boost. I'm going to be switching off. Same with the bonuses they got from a Rocket as well. But Vulcan Red, they're flying out with 3 flyers. They've got Ultron, as well as Star-Lord, and of course the Valkyrie. Kanga Esports, of course, playing a few flyers for themselves, mainly the Ultron and the Star-Lord. So I'm excited to see how this flying meta, as you were mentioning earlier, goes in this game. There's going to be so many people flying around the map at the moment. Ooh.
Oh, big spear. Taking out Rocker. is going to be Angela putting in the work. Another spear actually diving in there. This is exactly what I've wanted to see. Aggression in the sky is coming through. And that's going to be coming through when you got Foxy and a Valkyrie in the sky. Okay. But at the same time, big picks from WAP taking out John Vec there. Big power from the Magneto. The binary blades are swinging from both of them right now. Melee on melee action. But Rocket's face shifting on the Star-Lord, and he's going to be going and chasing the other Star-Lord, taking out Daxu right there, getting value. Rocket Red are close to capturing, but it turns out Kanga's got the numbers. He'd be able to hold it down right now to push Vulcan Red off, but they're stalling, giving the team an opportunity. Going to be able to fly away and get out of the action and escape. Regroup with the squad. Roxas gets picked off. Rocket's pushing. Kanga's pushing. They do capture and get some percentage on the board.
Yeah, massive long fight coming out from both teams before the capture point finally leans the way of Kanga Esports. Vulcan Red was so close to capturing it. They were sitting at 80 or 90% of the capture percentage, but they weren't able to get it over the end. But now out comes the Psionic Seduction from Texi as well as the Eternal Bond from Solman. Kanga Esports are using this opportunity to try and keep control of the capture point. Texi able to get one, but John Beck gets traded out. Now Rocco with the Galactic Legend is doing so much damage from the skies. Foxy did use Rage of Ultra to try and keep the team alive, but Kanga Esports are in control and they're already heading towards 35%.
35% and climbing there. Big power, 40% climbing. That's going to be the value they need for Kanga Esports. Welcome ready to show signs of getting active here. Need to get into motion and try to get some ultimates off. They do have a Meteor M online, but there it is. Daxi winds it up, going legendary with the Galactic Legend, starting off the fight, trying to get value, but Kanga are just hiding in corridors where nobody can sustain and take them out. Jungbeck in the pick onto the Valkyrie. That's going to be a big value. Roxy's in return takes out Texi. That's 1-to-1 down on each side, but the extermination begins from another Ultron in the sky from Zhang Vec getting enraged. But the pressure is still on, but it's not enough for Vulcan Red to activate and take point contention back.
They're doing so much damage though onto Kanga Esports. Rocco, Chronix, they both have fallen, and Vulcan Red is sitting at 90%. They finally capped the point. In total, Kanga got 75% of the capture point, so Vulcan Red now starting from 0. Have to try to get this all the way to meet them and overtake them, of course, because that would be the goal. Team Valkyrie does have Heaven's Fall for themselves, but Kanga Esports still have 0 ultimates. They were holding on, they were stalling for as long as possible, and they managed to get 75%, of course, rid of those ultimates. They only need to win maybe 2 more fights to be able to take this first round, but Vulcan Red have so many fights ahead of them.
So many indeed right there. Big spear actions happening forward. Daxu is going to get value. Seeing big pick right there, taking out Rocco as they pincer maneuvered them. These aerial combinations are just stellar from Vulcan Red, I'll tell you that. But isn't it enough for them to keep on pushing? Because Texas on point right now and nobody's trying to push off the Emma. Heaven 4 goes down. Team Valkyrie scoops someone up. Big value pouring in. Proxys hits the rage. It's going to be enough for them to get a peek. They do get one, taking out Chronix, denying the chance. Oh, that is a slow fall for Isaac. That is a big spear from Valkyrie.
Massive pick, being able to eliminate one of the vanguards. Now both two strategies from Kanga Esports are back in spawn. Vulcan Red have achieved 60%. They're so close to taking, or maybe overtaking Kanga Esports at 75%. And the ultimates, they still have 4 available and online for themselves. Kanga Esports does have 5. They have 1 extra ultimate with the Rage of Ultron just coming online. So things could lean the way of Kanga Esports if they're able to utilize these ultimates correctly, juggle them, and make sure that they have all the useful ultimates available first. So the start is going to be the Rage of Ultron, but John Beck gets taken out immediately by Tini Valkyrie. Wow, was taking out Solomon too, who was not able to get any ultimate charge yet. So Chronix now steps up with the fate of both worlds.
Fate of both worlds going to give Chronix sustain to the rest of the Kanga squad right there. We're going to feed Magneto as the Meteor charges up. Oh, it barely does enough to take it out. The Ultron there, but they survive, and Tini Valkyrie's going to keep it going, taking on Isaac, and Texi falls over time. It's got to favor Vulcan Red, who did switch the script here. Percentage is going up, and Vulcan Red do take the first round. Excellent performance on Hell's Heaven, taking that, obviously, Super Soldier Factory for themselves. Let's see how it goes into the Eldritch Monument. That was a good turn, Ricey. They actually didn't have it at the start, but played their course, bided their time, got the ultimate value they need, and a couple speeds into the lava. They do have that first round win.
Both teams are running the triple strategist lineup, so Kanga Esports was able to get 75% on the capture point immediately. So much sustain, so much healing coming through for Kanga Esports. But even then, Vulcan Red, when they were able to flip things over to themselves, they were able to do such a good job and get themselves up to that 100% mark.
What horrors has Hydra dabbled in?
So mark is definitely what both teams want to secure here. 10 seconds till those doors open. Let's see who's going to activate. I do know Vulcan Red do have an advantage already early. Heaven falls online, so is Proxies with the Rage of Ultron. They could go for a clean early capture right on if they can just absolutely dive in, scoop up all of Kanga. And Kanga don't even have the abilities or the ultimates to be able to stop them. It really depends if they want to do that or they want to take the fight slow. Just collect a bit of information, maybe get some peeks here and there from Kanga without having to exhaust their ultimates.
Ultimates-wise, Vulcan Red has the Hell's Heaven available. Tiny Valkyrie does spear someone, and out comes the Heaven Bow, followed up with the Rage of Ultron. Do so much damage as Chronix does fall. Vulcan Red captures the point, giving themselves some early advantage here. They do lose Citrus though in the meantime in this fight here. Kanga Esports also have more ultimates now available. They're going to use Solomon with the Eternal Bond to try and touch and potentially turn things over to their favor.
My time to shine.
Oh, there it is, the favor switch. Yes, 1, 2, 3 of Vulcan are taken down. It's going to be the entirety of Vulcan's pressure being nullified by Kanga Esports, who did drop the... Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, they did drop the Eternal Bond there to secure that fight. I believe we did see Heavenfall Rage of Ultron, so Kanga won a fight, utilizing one of their ultimates matching 2 from Vulcan Red. That is good value for them, but Vulcan Red still have quite the powerhouse of ultimates online to match Kanga's. They got the Whale, they got the Hornet Proteus online. Jungbeck can bring out the Rage of Ultron. Dexy has a Meteor, which can nullify Dax's ultimate when the Galactic Raven takes to the skies. But right now, Bulwark Shield isn't enough to protect Isaac, who's caught out. And the Hulk is down early.
Hulk was down early, but so is Dax, who was going legendary, completely shut down. Now Proxy's also shut down. Jungbeck doing so much damage, does also have the Rage of Ultron available if he wants to do even more. But Tiny Valkyrie is trying to disrupt him in the skies, has to get back into safety, regroup with the team. Kanga Esports sitting up 40% and counting. They do have a Whale available. Jungbeck also Rage of Ultron, I mentioned earlier. But there's still a couple more ultimates though that are sitting at 70-80%. So this next fight is going to go quite explosively. Starting out with a Rage of Ultron from Jungbeck, who gets taken down by Tiny Valkyrie immediately. So Chronix with favorable blows keeps the team alive and sustained. And so Meteor coming up, and Web doesn't land actually. So Kanga Esports are able to stay sustained. They're close to 60-70% and counting. But wait, Tiny Valkyrie with a double spear.
Double kill.
Absolute insane pressure coming out from Vulcan out there. And then, of course, they are going to be chasing down this final pick. Oh, looks like, hey, I'm going to take that one into my KO score. Thank you very much. Let me get some elims on my board. That was a lethal pullback from Lick right there. But speaking of the pullback, it's going to be time for the mark to be pulled, as Vulcan Red are going to try to get their percentage up and pull themselves back into victory position. Kanga Esports do have a 71% lead on charge right now, but I think Vulcan Red are confident they can win this next fight. They have 4 ultimates ready for this next fight, potentially a 5th on the Maya at the same time. Kanga Esports will have more as well. There's going to be Magneto. Texi definitely going to have the Meteor, but at the same time, Isaac will be going in range more than ever. Bring out the Monster Hulk, start slapping, start thunderclapping, seeing if they can get value as they're juggling Lick out of here and taking out the Sue Storm. Sustained down for Vulcan Red. Legendary in the skies from Daxu, holding it down, shredding forward, trying to get the value. Does take out Texi. That's going to be one more. That's going to be a second double KO for Daxu. And they're going to be focusing down on the Hulk right now. And that's going to be massive value for Vulcan Red, tying up the percentage. This last fight could potentially be the last one on the map.
It could be the last one on the map. As you mentioned, Vulcan Red sitting at 85% and counting. There's only one last fight to go. Kanga Esports have these 2 ultimates available, but can they even touch? We have a little Jeff Solomon trying to get around the corner. They should be able to touch, of course, but will this Rail be able to do well for Rocco? Will the Rage of Ultron, or will the Meteor do well? Meteor being used, but Liquid Meteor has taken down Solomon. Now comes the Channel Bond coming out from Fish to keep the team alive even longer. Jungbeck also with the Rage of Ultron. Everything is being used right now by both teams. Vulcan Red only need 1 fight to get into this map. Proxy takes 5 shots, takes another, and there's a double KO for Proxy. Vulcan Red win. Captures Hell Heaven.
Oh, they do indeed. They tie it up and lock it down at the Eldritch Monument and take the map in its entirety. Stellar performance from Vulcan Red right there. It was a tough one, I will say. Kanga Esports had some promise and potential early on, but right now, they don't have an answer to the Valkyrie. Tini Valkyrie putting in the work on Angela. A well-deserved MVP. Those speeds, so lethal. They don't even need to be off the map. Canceling Rage of Ultron? The amount of value coming through. That was highly contested. So much power. That's got to be a highlight reel for Valkyrie right there. Putting in the work. But I will say though, on the other side, SUV the Rocket makes sense. Namor was putting in a lot of work. I will say, the more commonly an anti-air, anti-dive compositional pick, bit tough handling the Angela. Angela just, not one of those squishy fly eyes. Angela's going to get in your face and going to make it personal very quick. So, as Tini Valkyrie was spearing all of those squids and just absolutely getting massive value, it's going to be enough for Vulcan Red to claim their first map victory here. Now, is that their first time getting a map against Kanga, Ricey?
Yes. From memory, it is. In Group A, they did go 2-0. They were able now finally to claim this first map, so things are going to get exciting. Like, this is where things get spicy. Kanga Esports, who did kill 2-0 against Vulcan Red, are now on the back foot. We saw some amazing spears coming up on Tini Valkyrie to be able to kick them off into the abyss. We saw some amazing, of course, Galactic Legends from Daxo as well. Vulcan Red working together as a team, able to take control of the skies.
Absolutely, absolutely. And working as a team is the key here in Marvel Rivals more than ever. You should do it in your comp games, everybody. Work with the team. Now, besides all that, we're here to watch the best of the best. Let's see how it goes. Map 2 is going to be a very pivotal one for Kanga right now. Winners momentum seems to be a common factor here this past week. There has been a massive thing, a lot of 3-0s, potentially 3-1s. Yet have we seen a tightly contested and competitive set between any of the two teams so far. We want to see it. Why? Because it's dramatic, because it's fun. Gets us on the edge of our seats and gets everybody riled up and rooting for who they believe can take it home in an evenly matched bout. But before all of that, what matters most is the teams play to their heart's content and play to what is needed to win and secure themselves that spot into the finals and to take on Chopper Mag and see who takes it all the way to Atlanta. That's going to be the question. But for now, it's a nice series starting us off with Vulcan Red getting their first map victory over Kanga Esports. Let's see if they maintain, or it's going to be Kanga who's going to bring it back. As we know, historically, domination for Kanga, not too good. Not too good.
They won a domination.
It's true, they did. They
did win a domination.
Recently, they won 2
last week.
True.
They have, you know.
Yeah, let's not let them get back to the old history. Let's let them. Come on, Kanga, bring back what we saw last week.
Yeah,
bring back the winning team on domination. That's what we want to see.
They definitely have improved quite a bit on domination, and I think this next one though, since they get to choose the next map coming up, things are definitely in their wheelhouse. They get to choose the next map and they get to choose their side as well. So we're all sitting here excitedly waiting to see what Kanga Esports is going to pick, because you know the ball is in their court.
I will say though, you're right. The ball is in their court, and maybe the ball is in New York as well. Maybe we go to Central Park. Maybe we bring it back on a map they already beat Vulcan Red at the same time. Why would I suggest that map? Very simple. Angela can't really send you off the map anywhere there. Not really a good position when you're running it down Main Street all the way from the Baxter Building to Avengers Tower. Not really many opportunities that an Angela can get value there. Maybe a Jeff could, maybe a Bucky, but not really Angela. However, spears are painful nonetheless. So is this a question where you target ban somebody who, you know, on paper we'll say, maybe not in reality, but on paper so far seems to be one trick in it on the Angela? Is a ban an option here? Let's see if it's worth it for Kanga.
Now that is a good question. Do they want to try and get rid of the Valkyrie? Sorry, the Angela. Or do they want to maybe instead, as you said, go to a map where they can't get speared off? I mean, this is a map, Liga, that can get chosen, but it's going to be hard. I don't think remembering the entire map, there isn't really any good spots that you can spear somebody off the edge. So maybe they'll let the Angela come through because they might think, hey, no drama, we can verse an Angela. We can verse Tini Valkyrie and Angela. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, maybe the confidence is in their sight for now. But what I will say though, this map still has those high ceiling areas where you can access the roof. So And Angela can find cover there. So it's a bit dangerous when we're talking about the first section around the corner and the second section above the high ground central point where the wind terrain obviously takes into effect. You know, as we know, this game, we got environmental effects, you know, when you destroy buildings, when you destroy terrain, things happen, especially on Jalia. Would it be the lava plumes? Would it be the low grav section? Would it be the fog of war? So many things to consider here on Jalia. It's probably one of the most highly peaked maps here. Convergence, it's too fun. There's just so much going on dynamically, but dynamically, you need to make sure your team dynamic is locked in more importantly than ever. Picks and bans are going to start up very, very soon for this second map. We're getting into the lobby, getting into the action right now, but let's see. What do we think is going to be changed here in this picks and bans phase?
So, like last time we saw the picks and bans on this particular map, we got to see some Namor and Hulk pop out of the bans. So I'm wondering whether or not the defenders, which is going to be, I'm pretty sure, Kanga, whether they're going to be running that same Namor Hulk thing that we've got to see previously on Whole of Jalia, or if they're going to be cooking up something different.
Definitely gonna be interesting to see as we get into the action, but I already know chaos is guaranteed from what I'm looking at right now. There's a lot of chaos on my screen, maybe 6 times the amount of chaos that the average viewer requires, and you'll see in just a moment why I'm talking so much about that. But before we do, let's remind everybody it's going to be between Kanga Esports and Vulcan Red for this second map in a best of 5 series. And everybody's hovering Wonder Maximoff, Scarlet Witch.
Ooh.
Why?
I'm wondering if they're paying respect to somebody else, or maybe they actually want to play Wonder themselves. I love the 4 Lords, and of course, Tinny and Daxu still are not with the team. A bit of disconnect coming through. Will they be disconnecting the actual game? We'll find out. First bans, though, is going to be Ultron and Adam Warlock.
You know, I'm pretty sure Scarlet Witch has the least pick rate. It has to be, right?
I'm pretty sure too. No,
I don't think we've seen one.
I was gonna say, maybe it was Widow instead, but no, we've seen Widow twice.
We've seen, we've seen like Widows, Widow especially. Hey, Vulcan Red's got the #2 Widow in the world, Zaza Stack. They can bring Zaza Stack in if they want. They can bring out, you know, some of that action, but you know, we'll see what they roll with for now. At the same time, let's rewind. Let's get back to it. Catch up everyone up. For Vulcan Red, they will not have access to the Ultron and the Mantis at the same time. They've protected Jeff for themselves, which is good. There's quite a couple spots on this map where Jeff can absolutely throw them off.
Angela ban coming through from Kanga Esports. That is spicy. But Vulcan Red is going to also be banning Jeff away too. We got to see Kanga Esports play Jeff previously. You can see John Beck hovering the Jeff as well. So no Jeff for Kanga Esports. Well, yeah, Vulcan Red. Let's see what they're going to ban next here. Hulk.
Yeah, what do you think? Where are the last protect? What do you think they're going to protect here? It'd be interesting.
Could be interesting, but I think that the Hulk is probably to prevent the Namor Hulk Gamma team up, like I was talking about before. That Kanga Esports might be able to play on defense, but you know, now that's out of the question. Vulcan Red is going to be protecting the Star-Lord.
Alrighty, Star-Lord Protect is going to be making sense for Vulcan Red. If they can't get the Tinny Valkyrie on the Angela, they can at least secure Daxu Star-Lord. Let's see what the final ban that's going to affect Vulcan Red's going to be. Coming in from Kanga. Let's see who it is. Will it be a strat? It will be. Luna's out of here. Nobody's playing Luna. Oh, sorry. Yep. I can correct myself. Vulcan Red don't have access to Luna, but Kanga does.
Here we are, Whole of Jalia. Locks, bans, they haven't been achieved. The most spiciest one, I would say, though, like it for me, is definitely Angela. I was wondering whether or not just being able to pick a map where Angela isn't that good on is going to be enough. But no, they went a step further and they've banned Angela. So Tinny Valkyrie, though, is hovering the Venom, which is also a dive. So things could get very spicy as Vulcan Red prepare for themselves to play dive here on Whole of Jalia.
All right, let's see. Some targeted bans have finally taken effect. It is desperate times. We're going to call for desperate measures, as we know. This is an elimination bout. Whoever loses this set is not going to be happy. They're going to be locking themselves in to 4th place in the Night OCE. So it makes sense to bring out the Valkyrie ban, taking out Angela. It's going to be a targeted ban, going to be effective. Let's see if Kanga actually plays it. Let's do that advantage. Ideally, I really want to know how it's going to perform. Is it going to be a Doctor Strange portal? It's been a while.
3,
Ooh.
2, 1.
Yeah, since we got Doctor Strange banned the previous map, you know, was completely banned out for both teams. It'd be great to see, you know, a Doctor Strange portal come out in the last minute here, as it is available between this game of Kanga Esports and Vulcan Red. But we have some divers and flies of Daxter here from Vulcan Red, doing a little bit of damage up at the top here. Kanga Esports not able to run the Gamma Strips like I was predicting. They are running instead a Venom for themselves.
Indeed for themselves right there, getting the value they require. Big dive coming in from Texi. That's going to be high value. Pressure going in. Isaac's holding down on the Magneto. That's going to be an absolute powerhouse momentum right there. Big fire plumes are pouring in. But Vulcan Red's got the first tick right now, as Kanga's just under the high ground defending and not ideally defending on the point where they need to be. Isaac gives a pick, taking out proxies. Rocco follows suit as well. With a bit of Star-Lord action, they're able to catch on up, and a double duel action going in. Rocco takes out Lick, Wab takes out Chronix in with Terra Proxies though. As the Cocoon comes back in the fire, but Wab is farming right now on the Magneto. And there it is, an early Galactic Legend.
Early Galactic Legend from Rocco, and it does so much damage alongside Isaac, who cleans up the team. The defenders, Kanga Esports, able to hold on to the point for now, but Vulcan Red were able to get that one tick. So this next attack, they'll be able to have less, you know, to fight for. They have a bit less time they needed to be able to capture this entire point, seeing how they've reached that first little checkpoint on the capture point. But with 3 ultimates here for themselves, Kanga Esports are just building up their 2 for them as well. But have Feast of Abyss available for both teams, and of course a couple of strategist ultimates for each.
Strategist ultimates are gonna be key to defending this point here for Kanga. Let's see if they can make it happen. Feast of the Abyss is gonna be potentially online for. Oh, there it is. Texas goes for it. A bit of a crunch. Everybody's going in. I see a Jeff ultimate. Is it gonna land? Is it gonna be scooping anyone? They said it's gonna be a retreat from Citrus, not committing to the full Jeff ultimate. But the team's there, they got ultimates online, they're gonna get value if they need. Boundaries dropping in from Lick, Wab's charging up the Meteor, crashes down, does a bit of damage, but it's not enough. Valkyrie also hits the big crunch, and the Venn diagram is on our screen from Lick and Solman's invisible boundaries right there. Solman's is the one last thing right there, giving sustain to Kanga, even though Vulcan Red had an advantage. 3 of them are down, as Kanga are holding defense.
The Kanga holds a very strong defense. Vulcan Red used so many ultimates to try and capture this point, but they weren't able to get much damage onto Kanga Esports. They do also have, you know, the triple strategist lineup, Kanga Esports, so they're able to keep themselves sustained. Chronix has Fate of the Both Worlds available for this next fight, so it's going to be a difficult fight for Vulcan Red to try and push on. Proxies does have the Karmic Revival available for themselves, so could be a little bit spicy. Daxter also has, you know, sorry, Daxter and Rocco also have the Galactic Legend, so lots of damage from the skies. It's all going to be very even a fight coming up, as both teams have even amounts of ultimates available. Vulcan Red approaching through the hallway on the left and being able to drop down in the back, able to get a bit of a different angle as Texas dives in with Face of Abyss. There's so much damage on the back line of Vulcan Red, but they all do survive.
They do survive. But there it is. Oh, both Gatsu and Rocco hit the legendary galactic moment on each other, but it looks like Rocco's going to be the one to hit the stars and gets another taking out Citrus. But just when you think it's over, Vulcan Red hit the massive Karmic Revival there. Proxy's bringing it back 3 of the squad. They're going to hold it down. They're going to keep fighting. Citrus hits the C and D. It's the sort of bond happening right now. Holding it down, keeping the Shrouds in pride. Jongbeck's going to resurge, bring the team up as well. Isaac's got the Meteor. It's winding on up. It goes. It doesn't land, but it does a bit of damage. They're going to be cruising. That's right. They're going to be hitting that strangling prison right there, collecting them all up, grouping them up. Blind flies out from Citrus. It is quite effective, and it does help them take down Isaac. Rocco's taken down as well. Vulcan Red are bringing the fire back. They're able to capture quite a bit more here, but a final chance from Texi comes in with the Abyss, and I believe Jongbeck's there to back him up. I think Vulcan Red are having a tough time securing it. Kanga's still fighting.
Kanga is still fighting, but the grid walls are doing so much rent from Cindy Bowser, able to deny the kills and deny them from walking out from the door, but still, Sloman does reach it, brings out the invisible boundary. The portal comes out from Web. Last chance, hope-ditch effort from Vulcan Red. But out comes the Galactic Legend from Daxter, though, able to take down Rocco once more, of course, as Reach brings out the Strangling Prism, takes down Isaac with a revive coming up from Proxies as well. It's going to be big for Vulcan Red, as the overtime is still going on between these 2 teams. John Beck comes back with the Soul Resurgence, and Proxies tries to keep the team alive with a revive from Revive Ultimate! John Beck falls from Kanga Esports. Bob is on it. Sorry, Kanga Esports, I'm not sure if they've been using the portal yet too, but this overtime is still going on as Lick takes down Rocco. Now comes Eternal Bond from Vulcan Red, and with this, it may be it. Nakamoto is huge, and the Vulcan Red finally claim the first point.
Definitely a good Agamotto there, as we know, because they're just going to switch back on to a preferred Vanguard. It's going to be WAV on the White Queen, Emma. Teams regrouping now. Very intense start to the bout, but the good news is 2 minutes have been added to the time bank of Vulcan Red. For themselves, they are cheering, but I think Kang is actually in a bit of a winner's potential position right here, because 2 minutes to go through this section of Jalia. Ooh, better teams haven't been able to do it. Let's see if they can pull it off here. Setting up those Storm Slash Walls is going to be Tini Valkyrie holding it down on the group right there. Trying to lock him in. Isaac taking a bit of damage. Texie tries to just nullify that pressure in the back. Big crunch! Obvious taking out Lick and Citrus. Cleaned up by Rocco there. Solman's picked off as well by WAV, but that's another 2 picks. WAV and Tini are down. That's going to stop the VR Vulcan Red push for now, as Kanga did utilize a very effective Feast of the Abyss from Texie right there. And that was effective in getting them the stop on Vulcan Red's push.
He does a massive piece of the Abyss from Taxi. And now, as you mentioned, Kanga Esports are in control of the mission vehicle. Vulcan Red have got a few ultimates. I'm excited to see whether or not they're going to be combining these. We have Phoenix, Ensong, and Strengthening Prism on Penny Valkyrie. Could be good to try and get a massive damage out. But, you know, they are on point, they are contesting. But Soman with the flank got a double KO on both the strategies backline. Wabos, Proxy Bows, Vulcan Red have to regroup into their spawn as they are leaving for Tini Valkyrie to be staggered.
They're boxing Tini in right now, and they get the pick right there. Not gonna pressure, putting it down. Dex is trying to get out. Does manage to fly away. Regroup with the rest of Vulcan Red, but Tini Valkyrie is going to return back to the fight in a couple seconds. And they're going to be able to hold it down one more time. I think it's going to be a tough one here. I think we're going to witness all 12 ultimates in one fight right now. That is probably what's about to happen. Everybody's coming online. Everybody's got their ultimates ready. Texie and Web will have it in just a moment. And we're going to start it off with the fate of actually the Resurgence coming out from Jong Vic. The Mantis Lick's going to match it with the Boundary. Tini Valkyrie hits there, strangling Prison, scooping them all on up. And Song Inferno crashes down. It's going to give Tini Valkyrie the juice to take out Jong Vic. There's a meteor flying. It's not enough, but Rocco gets the big taking out Daxi once again. The Galactic Legend advantage goes to Rocco. Texie takes out Nick. That's 3 down for Vulcan Red. Advantage to Kanga right here. What they got to do is hit that Sonic and survive it. Pouring in from Web. Valkyrie, that's it. Those get a big click, taking out Solman. Rocco in the back actually returns the favor, taking out Citrus. That's going to be value right now for Kanga. They're going to be phase shifting. Rocco's making it happen. And there is going to be more pressure as the final stand is from WAV. I do believe Proxies is there to try to make some shots happen. Kanga going to play it safe in this fight. It's going to give Vulcan Red some time to regroup. The fight isn't over yet.
Fight isn't over yet. Overtime isn't over yet. Vulcan Red are pushing forward. No ultimates across the entire board, but Rocco is in the sky. He's able to take down Proxies, going into the backline, finds the Lick, finds the strategist, tries to duck and weave and do board damage, but then he's going to be forced back as Vulcan Red goes to the rescue of the strategist to keep them alive, of course, and keep the team sustained and in the game. In the meantime, though, Web has taken down Isaac. He's one of the vanguards for Kanga Esports, which does mean that Texie also falls. I think maybe though we'll be able to get revived by someone. Without the Vulcan, legendary in the skies. It's going to be Rocco. We've seen him do good things with this before, but now it comes also the invisible boundaries from Vulcan Red to keep the team sustained, keep the team alive, and keep the team pushing.
They are trying to push, but Texie stalling very well on the Venom. I believe it was a big pick from Citrus there. Absolutely munching. Throw in! Tronics out of the map right there. Isaac takes out Daxu. Texie falls to Wab. That's the pressure. I think Vulcan Red might have a chance to do with this and add some more time to their bank. Looks like Kanga's on the back foot. The Magneto Meteor's flying and it then packs in the air. It doesn't get the value, but a portal is up. The portal is there. Sustained more than ever. They still have a chance, but it's moving through the portal. It's 2 meters, 1 meter. Go Kanga, keep contesting it.
They're able to body block the portal, but for how long? The showtime is coming out from Chronic Kanga Esports. They're able to touch. They're able to keep the team sustained. John Beck takes down Citrus. Daxter goes legendary, but it's going to be enough after they've lost 2 members. It is 3 members of Kanga fall. They get knocked out, they get sent back to spawn, and with no Doctor Strange portal left for them to retouch again, Vulcan Red has slowly eliminated Kanga Esports 1 by 1. With only 1 minute left, they get it over the edge.
Just when you thought they were down and out, they kept it going and burned up some more opportunity for themselves right there. Vulcan Red absolutely adding another 90 seconds to their time back now. This push, I know I said it before, categorically, it's even tougher than the one before to try to make it. You got to turn up 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, face the fog of war, and still try to deliver it to the middle, to the throne room of Jalia. The question is if they can take it to the end of the hall. We're going to find out very soon. Literally a minute is already left. 30 seconds just to even take that first corner. It's so time consuming. We're definitely going into overtime. Texi takes out proxies right there. Big value coming forward, and a massive Psyonix starting us up in the fight from WAV right there. But I will say, Ricey, Galactic Legend once again. This time Daxu actually wins the trade with Rocker and gets revenge.
Does get revenge. Rocker is going to be eliminated for just a moment, of course. Going to be able to zip back very quickly into the fight. So Dax is taking this opportunity to do so much damage on it to the vanguards of Kanga Esports. Not able to find anyone. Wants to go in for the strategist. Has to be careful though. Does a bit of damage, but the part is still moving. Out comes over search from John back, and in turn with the Eternal Bond. This fight is still going forward, and it's about to hit overtime like at 10 seconds until overtime starts.
10 seconds indeed right there. Going legendary, making it happen. Let's see if Starlord can get the value. Dex is actually going to be shred right there. Trying to get it forward, trying to show through Texi's sustain, but the sustain from the Venom is just absolutely lethal. It's a big Jeff scoop. Is it going to be value? That's insane from Citrus right there. Scooping 3. 3 is going to be a massive one right there, and that actually sends them away. Oh my days, the value pouring in from that. Massive Jeff time right there. He's massive. And Proxies gets a pick, taking out Texi. Look at them, they're fighting on the back foot right now. A pincer move is about to happen.
It's going to be quite difficult for Vulcan Red to try and push to the edge, but they have a chance here in overtime. They have 2 ultimates for themselves, but Kanga Esports, of course, has that better spawn. And so close for Isaac to fall. He will actually fall down without being able to kick, choke, and take him out. Out comes the Phoenix, ultimate from Rocco, but it's not going to be enough to take anyone out as the invisible boundary keeps everyone alive and sustained. Psyonix reduction does keep the Kanga Esports distracted for a bit as they all eliminate quite a few members of Kanga Esports. 4.5 meters left. Vulcan Red is so close to getting it. Texi though will be able to take that Citrus. Beast of the Abyss going crazy on both sides of the team. But this is a long drawn-out fight with a triple, with so many heals coming out from both of these teams. Daxon does have legendary available. Let's see how it goes.
It looks like it's going in favor for VR right now, but they do have Daxio ulting. Texi, however, is just unable to be cleared off the point. He's stalling and contesting as much as possible. Vulcan Red, oh, almost got it. Texi was a bit too far. Texi returns in time, 1.3 meters. You can't do that again. You cannot leave the point. They need to focus the Venom down. They need to shut down who is stalling it out right now. Valkyrie takes the Selman Corning's falls as well. Texi gets short. That's another one. That's 0.91 meters. Do they make it forward? Do Vulcan Red push it to the end right there? And the 9 meters are left. And there it is. They do push it through into overtime, into overtime on all 3 sections of Jalia. They pushed it to the end with absolutely every available second they could possibly use.
It's such an incredible fight coming out with Vulcan from Vulcan Red being able to do such a good push for themselves. But of course, it's now Kanga Esports' turn to start the push, to start the attack, and Vulcan Red on defense. They do have quite a few options available for themselves when we're looking at the, bans and protects. Maybe they want to run a triple, but Daxo is still having the Star-Lord. We've seen Daxo do extremely well on the Star-Lord, and Rocco as well. These 2 Star-Lord players are neck and neck.
They definitely are indeed. I like seeing it. Big contests, big opportunity. Galactic Legends flying in the sky. I believe it's 2-1 in favor of Rocco at the moment, but they actually did get the last one there, and so much so that it actually paid dividends in getting their team all the way to the end of Jalia. Right now, Kanga got to do quite a mammoth task ahead of them. Because Vulcan Red feeling very confident. When you push a match like that, how much more fired up can you get? But
My costume just
Kanga,
kinda
I will say,
came with my
Texi
powers.
is kind of someone who's attracting my attention right now. Texi's stalling is insane. The question is now, can Texi turn that Venom energy to an absolute mauling force that can take down the backline of Vulcan
All
Red?
you need to do is capture the mission area.
A very
Got it?
important question here, Liga. You know, Texi has been doing such a good job on defense, but now that they're on attack, they definitely want to try and target some of those triple strategist backline that Vulcan Red does have. Kanga Esports also rocking, of course, that triple strategist backline. And so I'm excited to also see if these two diving heroes, Star-Lord and Venom, are able to work together. Who has the most best synergy on the team? Does Vulcan Red have the better synergy, or does Kanga Esports? Who's going to be able to get the side? It's going to be Solomon and Rocco that are able to take down proxies and Lick. The defenders of Vulcan Red have lost 2 members already. And now, though WAV though stepped up, takes down Rocco. Still things haven't gone south just yet for Vulcan Red, but Chronix takes down Teeny Valkyrie and give themselves more advantage. 1 tick achieved, and they're looking to take the entire point.
Absolutely looking to take as much value as they can. Daxu phase shift and does take out Solomon right there. Big value, gone for the health pack, regrouping as best as they can, but the portal is there. Question is in fact on the Maya right there. League taking out Texi, taking out Daxu, making it happen. Where please Isaac, that's going to be more and more potential for them to hold the defensive status, but kind of push in the back here. But Kenny's kind of big here, kind of confident they can push on in. They're going to pop resurgence from John Beck actually to do it. In turn, that's going to throw the Sonic right in their face to counter, but is it going to be enough value for them as Rocco's going for the Collector Legend presence? But I see it, I hear it, it's Jeff time. Citrus might go in for another scoop. At the same time, Texi returns the favor, hitting the bigger boost in the backline of Vulcan Red right there. Daxu takes out Texi, John Beck falls as well. Daxu's hitting the double KOs, Daxu's going hungry for it. Wham gets the third, Daxu refuses to back out, has a bit of a duel with Solomon, takes another one, that's triple K for Daxu, and they clean it, taking another one down. Isaac resets off the map. That was a clean defense from Vulcan Red there. However, Kanga did utilize 2 ultimates to make it happen.
2 ultimates, you're completely right. They were to get 1 more tick, but Vulcan Red is still holding down strong. Out comes the portal coming out from Kanga Esports though. They're going to get the high ground. It's going to be massive though positioning wise, but are they able to capitalize this high ground to be able to get that final tick that they definitely need? Kanga Esports have 1 ultimate available, but 2 are on the horizon. Vulcan Red, they'll have 4 right now in hand to use if they want to be on the defensive. Lick getting dangerous slow, will be able to survive though with all the help from the strategist. It's going to be fantastic as Legendary though comes out from Daxu, and Rocco takes on Citrus.
I gotta say, these meteors are just shy of enough to get the impact they need. You gotta take in more damage. Teams are just not building them up as much as they used to. But what is being built up more than it used to is Rad with the Sonic right there, scooping them up, taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for Kanga. Rocker's the last one flying back to the victory right there. And that's gonna be another defense for Vulcan Red right now. But the same thing happened when it was a switch of the scripts as the other team. That's right, Kanga, when they were on attack. Let's see. Sorry, when Kanga were on defense, I should say. Let's see if Vulcan Red can hold it and claim that second map victory, or are we going to witness a chance, a second chance for Kanga to start and get into the depths of Jalia.
The depths of Jalia. That sounds very scary, but I mean, that is completely exactly what it is. Ivagamura coming out, takes down 2 members. Lick going absolutely crazy, the double KO, but Texi, Rocco, they're still in it. Ivagamura being used, does get cancelled out, shielded by Texi, and so shielded by Lick, and then eliminated. Texi back in spawn. I also thought the Galactic Legend could have gone really well for Rocco. They were able to get 1, but it wasn't enough. Now with zero ultimates from Kanga Esports, except for John Beck, things could get very dire in his last 10 seconds.
Last 10 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and it's definitely going into overtime because we're going to see Texi and Isaac hit the store on the dive Vanguards, Captain America and Venom, but at the same time, Web is refusing to let that Captain America not take damage as they're diving in, but Citrus is going to be scooping them up right now, trying to get the pick right there. They're going to be going for early miss. Instead, they're going to go for a retreat right there. Play it safe, play it smart. Rocker's face shifting, putting a big damage, diving on into the back line, getting value, taking out Teeny Block right there, but Proxies is low, but Proxies is healed up by Citrus, splashing away, and there it is in the skies. This time it's Daxu with the massive Galactic Legend right there, taking out John Beck. Rocco falls, Lick the Strangers down, overtime's ticking off, Solomon's still stalling, Isaac's there as well, do Vulcan Red have what it takes to hold. another Psionic from Web is pouring in.
It might be difficult for Kanga Esports at this point. They're losing members left and right, but they do get to take down at proxies. Showtime coming out from Clinical may be able to turn things around for themselves by barely being able to stay alive. They're just doing insane healing. And they're coming out now with, I believe, the portal from Vulcan Red. That's over Ivan Okamoto. Out comes the other portal from Russell this time, able to bring the team members back. As now comes, out comes another. It's Jeff from Citrus this time. They're going in for the spawn. They're trying to get members from the spawn. Not able to find anyone though. They're able to show for just a little bit, and it is enough for Vulcan Red to claim the second game.
The stall was insane, but the utilization of its Jeff time to absolutely scare the opposing team. It's going back into the portal. Saw enough of a split-second window for the overtime to tick down and out as they tried to drop through the Jeff hole. But gotta give MVP to WAV, building Psionic Seduction twice in one fight. Just at the end there, it was insane, and also the presence they had throughout. Stellar performance. Vulcan Red get their second map win. We've taken some lessons since the last time they versed Kanga. I see. This is exciting.
Look at that scoreline for WAV. 52-6, 24 final hits, 44,000 damage for WAV. Absolutely insane amounts of stats coming out from WAV. MVP given it to them. Daxu as well, though, with 20 final hits and 41-9. The team of Vulcan Red definitely worked together. Highlights, though, are, of course, amazing to watch. We got to see so much Star-Lord gameplay, so much Venom gameplay as well from both teams. Absolutely amazing Feast of the Abyss coming out from both of them. But Kanga Esports, despite not winning this game, looked absolutely phenomenal here still, being able to get some amazing, important picks.
Absolutely impeccable. I gotta love all the Jeff action that we saw, all of the Emma as well. It's nice to see these teams, they know each other. I like it. They know each other. They start to figure out things. That Angela ban. Kanga thought really clever there, but I think they might let it go through next time and try to ban something else. I'm gonna suspect can't let that Citrus Jeff go through again, or maybe even taking out the Emma. Two big factors that Vulcan Red still brought to the table, even if they didn't have access to Angela. I will say that was interesting to see. I mean, most of the time, you know, triple strategist lineups, you know, it's going to be effective. It's going to be quite a lot of firepower pouring in and healing them on up. But yeah, I'll tell you what, Ricey. I'll tell you what. I'm excited. That was a very close one. Even though it's a 2-0, it was a close one still.
Well, it is currently 2-0 in favor of Vulcan Red, but this is, of course, a best of 5. We have at least one more game to go through. And so let's take a short little break and see what this next game will bring us. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Smoke screen! I'm hunkering down. Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Playoffs day 2 here in Marvel Rivals Ignite Oceania Stage 2. And we have had a fantastic first series, but we are right now in the middle of the second series between Vulcan Red and Kanga Esports. Currently, Vulcan Red are 2-0. So they are on series point right now, Liger. This is where things get exciting because if depends how you want to phrase it here, Liger. But basically, if Kanga lose this next game, they are out of this tournament.
Listen, I've opened up the eye of Agamotto. I see two possibilities in outcomes in this reality, okay? All right. Is it a 3-2 reverse sweep, make them weep situation from Kanga? Or is it a 3-0 from Vulcan Red? And do they claim their spot into the next stage? I'm going to find out. We're going to find out. But I just want to say, that last one was intense. That was fun. I could barely keep track of the action because everybody was just fighting all over each other. Not a single person played it safe. Everybody played hard and fast because that's how it is. When you want to survive and you don't want to get eliminated, you don't want to take the fourth spot. You want to keep going for a medal position. That's right, either third, second, first in this. And of course, first is the most important because it's going to take you to Atlanta. It's going to take you to the grand finals.
That is so true. That is the goal that everybody has here, is to make it to the grand finals in Atlanta. But of course, to do that, you have to get through the grand finals here in just Marvel Rivals Ignite OCE, which takes place tomorrow. Of course, right now, these two teams stand in their way. Then tomorrow, Ground Zero stands in the way in the lower bracket finals. And then, of course, Chopper Mag already sitting and waiting, watching these games, I'm sure, as well. They are waiting in the grand final, the final game for tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's going to be exciting to see how it will all unfold tomorrow. But another map has been loaded in. Kanga's choice. We're taking it to Tokyo 2099. We're going to the Spider Islands. This is going to be interesting. I will say, though, it's an Angela map. It definitely is a very big Angela map. I knew it escaped my mind. I did name a couple other maps earlier, Arako and Krakoa, that are Angela maps, but honestly, this might be the Angela map alongside Hell's Heaven. So this is going to be dicey. I have a feeling it's going to be a rough day if Kanga do not target ban the Angela. They did it last round and it got them closer to victory. The question is, if they took 2 steps towards victory banning Angela, are they going to take those steps again? Or are they going to target something else? Are they going to work on something else that Vulcan Red is strong at? I think the Emma is another big pick to ban out as well.
Yeah, the Emma was, WAV was doing absolutely amazing on the Emma. We got to see so many strategies, techniques coming out from them. So much damage, really, when it comes down to it. Lots of damage coming out from WAV. So I'm very curious to see how things go coming into this Tokyo 2099 map, of course. I think it's pretty. I think it's gorgeous. But of course, I'm more excited about the bans and protects that are about to happen.
Ooh, that is where everything can be won in bans and protects. We've seen it quite a lot in other regions as well. Ooh, very commonly, people say, you threw the bans or something like that, because that's how dedicated the fan base is. They sometimes think it happens there. But honestly, it doesn't happen in bans and picks. It happens on the grand stage of the game itself, playing in game. Bans and picks can get you an advantage, I won't lie, but it's not the be-all, end-all. What matters most is the mental you take into the match with the resources you've protected and what you're unable to play. But going into this right now, I'm sensing a bit of vibranium action coming from this lobby. We'll see in just a moment why. I wonder why. But what I do know is a double ban is going to be the first thing coming through from this banning phase. Curious what it's going to be between Kanga Esports and Vulcan Red. Rising. There is actually a reality. This is our final match of the night. Would you believe it? Are Vulcan Red going to take a 3-0? Or are Kanga going to keep us here for a night of gaming? I'm curious to see if they can bring it back.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Liger. It's going to be so exciting here in this map. This could be the final map of the day for both of us and for the players. And we might have to come back for tomorrow. We are here in the Spider Islands. Vulcan Red versus Kanga. First banners do go through. It's going to be Adam Warlock and Jeff coming through. Kanga Esports then protects the Jeff. So Vulcan Red decides to ban Mantis, so no Mantis for Kanga Esports. That protects their Liger. Do you think we're going to see a teeny Valkyrie protecting the Angela?
Look, as much as I'd like to see it, I think it's going to pass through. I think it's more important to secure some other picks and deny some other picks at the moment. Right now, what we can tell from Vulcan Red, they don't have access to the Jeff, but Kanga does. So what they need to do is try to get things on their advantage right now, but Kanga Esports will be getting the Mantis out of here for Vulcan Red. Double bands locking in. It's the Angela again. They're going to play it smart. They're going to play it safe. They're going to make sure that they focus down Tini Valkyrie. I will say, though, there's a couple other picks here you need to be worried about on Spider Islands. It might not just be the Angela, but no matter what, Vulcan Red, they're going to protect themselves and lock in Luna.
Luna has been a very pivotal strategist for both of like all the teams here in Marvel Rivals Ignite Oceania. So the protect on Luna, I think, is going to be exciting to see. The ban, of course, on Angela, though, is going to be spicy once more. Also banning out Star-Lord. I think that's a very good ban coming out from Kanga Esports, as Daxo did perform quite well on that Star-Lord previously. You mentioned also Emma Frost earlier. Maybe that we see a ban on Emma Frost, but no ban from Emma Frost at all coming out from Kanga Esports. But it's going to be Vulcan Red banning Doctor Strange as their final ban.
The right heroes.
Oh, it's like a signature directly straight from the history books right there. We know a team that does that one very well. Chopper Mag, whenever you're winning 2-0 or just in the lead and you're on that pivotal last map to victory, you always ban that Doctor Strange. You always ban that Doctor Strange. My goodness, if they're actually just wow, this is gonna be very, very tight right now for Kanga Esports. However, what do we know so far? They do have the Jeff. Jeff is a big factor here on 2099 Spy Islands. I'm actually very excited for this one. Pretty cool.
Spider Island, such a gorgeous map. Be able to explore all of Tokyo 2099, and then as you reach that end, you see that cliff. You see that hole that people can potentially fall down under, which could be, you know, an Angela map, as you mentioned, Liger, but is not anymore, as Angela has been banned. Tini Valkyrie is not able to play Angela, but of course Vulcan Red do have the Ultron protected, so I think we'll be still seeing quite a few flyers coming out for Vulcan Red, potentially some dive coming through as well.
3, 2,
Alrighty.
1.
Here we go. You know what though? I see a lack of Moon Knight. Better teams have played Moon Knight in this map. But enough about me and my opinions about the Moon. Let's talk about who's really holding it down and going forward right there. Chroni's taking out Web in a few seconds, 10 seconds out the door. Web's already down. And Magneto is out. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. They're going to have so much more firepower potential here now that a defensive position is down, but they're going to bring them back in the fight. They're going to be regrouping quickly. Rocco's on the skies, bringing out the Storm. Storm is going to be there to match something big, but Kanga is actually in a really good position here with Jongvek on the Punisher. It's going to be that his scan presence they need to be able to handle Roxy's and Dex in the sky. And you know what? I take it back. I think Dex is just going to handle it on the group. The Tree Trunks are flying so sky high right now. I can't believe it.
They are technically doing so much damage as a breach, but so is John Beck able to take down Tini Valkyrie. The defenders of Vulcan Red, they're getting pushed back quite aggressively from Kanga Esports. No ultimates available just yet, but Solman already sitting at 75%. We might be able to see some strategist ultimates coming up soon from Kanga Esports. But Vulcan Red, they're gonna have to group up together too, because the vehicle is making quite a good progress. Rocco able to take on Dex. Actually though, that's make that quite difficult, as Vulcan Red now sitting at a 5v6.
Sitting at what could potentially be a big Jeff time if we're going to get a big scoop coming up from Solomon. Is there going to be enough for them right there? Proxy's hitting the rage of Ultron. Tini Valkyrie taking out John Wick. Big Valley going in. Crunch taking down. Proxy's taking down in return at the same time. The Meteor M is charging and it flies and doesn't get the buddy they need. Wab's taken down as well. Isaac takes out Wab in return. Tini Valkyrie punches Dixie out of here. Big Valley coming through, but their Mega Hurricane will crash down right there onto the point of contention, bringing them down, winding on through, and Rocco's taken down by Citrus. The Hurricane has been quelled.
Hurricane has been quelled, and does mean that Vulcan Red up in control of the point right now. Kanga Esports do still have so much time in the time bank though, 1 minute 50 and counting of course. But there's such a lot of time to work with, and they only need to travel just a few meters. 4 ultimates as well. First it's going to be Psionic Seduction. Going to be met by, of course, Citrus to the fate of both votes. But that's 3 ultimates from Kanga Esports. Make that 4. Reed massively able to get 3 members But so Titty Valkyrie with the Freedom Charge trying to keep the team alive and sustained and focused and heading forwards into Kanga Esports. Jumpback was taken out in that fight, but Kanga Esports are forced back further and further as Daxu takes control of the skies.
There it is in the skies. Daxu burning it up right now. Holding it forward after a successful supernova. But we'll bring attention. We've got the Agamotto. Agamotto could be big here, but again, I have a feeling this could be a big if Jeff time from Solman. If Solman gets the value going in for that big scoop, it could be a wild one for VR. But there it is, Rage of Ultron into the Agamotto. That is prime combinations right there. What an insane 6K wipe by Vulcan Red onto Kanga with the combination from WAV and Proxies. That was clinical.
Absolutely clinical indeed. Rocco able to take down Daxu and going for more, of course. Kanga Esports are making their way closer and closer to the end. Out. But are they, sorry, close there. I've got a bit lost there. Solman able to have, is Jeff Odin coming up soon? But is there going to be enough for them to be able to keep pushing forward? They are pushing forward, but it's going to be quite hard for them. 20 seconds left on the clock. Going to give it a use. It's Jeff Odom, but Proxy takes down Rocco in the meantime. Is it going to be enough for them to be able to take down multiple? No, it's not. As Titty Valkyrie takes down Solomon. Daxu takes down John Beck as well. This final 5 seconds go the way of Vulcan Red. Daxu raining so much supernova in the sky. Damage goes everywhere. But Chronic stays alive with the fate of both worlds.
Literally fire, tornadoes, the pyro power. It's just surrounding the spider right there. They don't have the chance to make it, but the Agamotto's going in, and the meteor is cancelled. But with the Eldritch Whip right there, taking downtown right there. Big strangling prison coming through from Texi, Tini Valkyrie, Jason Solman. That's timing down and out. What an insane defense from Vulcan Red. What a strong start for them right here on Spider Islands.
Which side you're on?
Very, very strong start coming out from Vulcan Red on defensive. We saw Kanga Esports do some really good attacks there. They were able to get so close to that first checkpoint, but Vulcan Red just had that defensive hold down pat.
Okay, we're seeing some switches here, a little bit of different momentum. I like what I'm seeing so far because things are getting a bit blocky. A bit chalky. Maybe we get some Ben Grimm action from Tini Valkyrie on the thing. I'm liking the idea of Daxu on the Storm. Could bring a bit of firepower. Things are getting a little bit fantastic in the lineup for Vulcan Red, as they do have the Fantastic Force in effect with the thing and, of course, Sue Storm in play. Could bring out the torch again, complete it. Maybe, you know what, for the hell of it, for the sake of Matsy out there, get the Brainiac bounce, get Mr. Reed Richards happening as well. Why not complete the Fantastic Four? But more importantly, you gotta win with the composition that's gonna get you the victory right now. Vulcan Red, they don't have much to push, and they got a lot of time on their side. But Kanga are very well known for their defensive compositions. They do have some Ironwood wall strategies when you least expect it. But I like what I'm seeing because we got a Moon Knight. Holy, please walk out this one with it. Yes.
They are using Moon Knight for this first fight here. We can see the damage coming out from Moon Knight could be pretty big here, especially if Wab with the kidnap able to take down Rocco immediately. Absolutely amazing play coming out from Vulcan Red. They're switching things up a little bit. Triple duelist as well. So much firepower. Tini Valkyrie being a solo Vanguard, and it's working. Look at the damage coming out from Wab. Yes, Texas does get revived. But of course, is this going to be enough? Rocco has switched over to, this time triple. Rocco on the Angela. Throwing the Angela into Tini Valkyrie's faces. They have got a ban for themselves. But Liger, Proxy, 97, 100%, they have Hannah Conchu available.
That's because when you call upon the moon will always be there for you. And that is exactly what Proxies is cashing in right now. But so is Young Vec. Checking out, taking out Wab. The Wolverine is down. Big value coming in from Kanga right now. And Solman's got a massive It's Jeff time as well lined up. This could be spicy if they group them on up. Speaking of grouping them on up, Texi does have Strangling Prison online. I'm waiting for the mark, and there it is. Big scoop. Daxu goes in. Daxu is cleaning up. Big storm action. Proxies with the dropping hands of Conchu right there. Taking a Rocco who went to the actual Angela. Rocco's on Angela now. This is it. They're walking up. This could be the final fight, right?
Could be the final fight. but Daxu being able to shut down John Becker immediately makes things a bit more difficult. There might even be a fight. Can anyone from Kanga Esports touch? They're trying. They just barely touched just in time. As out comes rather than Goddess and Daxu. They're going in. The backline comes in so much damage. Brad takes down Solomon in the meantime. Valkyrie takes Texi. Isaac falls to Kanga Esports. Have so little members up. 3 only. So out comes the Amplifier. He's going to get shut down immediately. Vulcan Red 3 meters away. They're going for a last stand or final stand, and they do it. They achieve it. They get it over the edge. Vulcan Red win 3-0 in this series, and they are making their way to verse Ground Zero tomorrow.
Ooh, and that's right, they're going to verse them in the lower bracket finals. How exciting is that for Vulcan Red, knowing that this was honestly one of the times that we finally witnessed a bit of a switch of the script here. Vulcan Red didn't do too well against Kanga last time, but they hit the books, they hit the VOD reviews, they got some coaching in, they're locked in, and they brought it back for themselves 3-0 in this best of 5 series, which was an insane effort and top tier performance from Vulcan Red. But it does mean farewell, honorable farewell to Kanga Esports, who did lock themselves into 4th place here in Marvel Rivals Ignite OCE. But the winners are Vulcan Red in this series tonight.
Vulcan Red win this series, heading over to the lower bracket finals to verse Ground Zero. But of course, Ground Zero can study this game. Look at these highlights. Daxu in the sky, of course. Ultrana doing so much damage as well, and healing, sustain, absolutely everything. Such a amazing hero, and of course, player able to utilize everything. I think the Wolverine kidnap coming up for Vulcan Red here. This triple duelist lineup for Vulcan Red really took Kanga Esports by surprise. They were able to use such aggressive, damaging, devastating damage to be able to take down Vulcan Red so quickly. Sorry, take down Kanga Esports so quickly and secure themselves this victory. Are you muted, Liger?
Apologize for that. I was muted for a moment. I just want to let everybody know
Is that
what I
me
was
or
saying
not?
was Khonshu was in my mind and denied me from talking. But what I was saying was that Moon Knight was great to see. The Wolverine kidnap was stellar. So much action, so much impact. But more importantly than all of that, the action was so loud. And I really want to bring attention to some certain picks right there. The Angela was banned out, but we still saw versatility from Tini Valkyrie and the rest of Vulcan Red right there. They regrouped around each other's strengths and they played to some old compositions we haven't seen in quite a while. What did that allow them to do? Get them a stronghold on Spider Islands 2099 in Tokyo, and that did mean when they were on attack, they only had to push just about a third of the map, and the morale in that situation is usually very high, and definitely winner's momentum is just maxed out at that point.
No, yeah, the winner's momentum you mentioned is huge. And in this lower bracket run that Vulcan Red are currently on the train of at the moment, they've got to make sure that they keep that winner's momentum going, they keep that positive mentality going, because in the lower bracket, there are no more second chances. They'll be versing Ground Zero tomorrow. And so I'm sure they have to study the previous game earlier today and make sure that they've come prepared to verse Ground Zero tomorrow.
Definitely. Maybe even get some scrims in tonight if you need, or early morning, whatever you got to do. Tomorrow's where it all ends.
Yeah, today was a really short day. Hey, like it, 3-0 and 3-0. Maybe they could get a scrim in tonight. You know, it's early here in Melbourne and Sydney. It's not even 9 p.m.
Ooh, time's getting crazy out here. But what we will get to do before we end the show, of course, we're going to have an interview with a player from Vulcan Red, of course. We're going to have a little bit of a yap, a little bit of a chat with one of the players from the winning team here that is currently and officially locked themselves into the top 3 of Marvel Rivals Ignite OCE. So commendable effort nonetheless, wherever they end up at the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, the massive work from everybody in the entire tournament, of course. But we have, of course, Kanga Esports being locked into 4th place, and now Vulcan Red have secured themselves 3rd place minimum, as well, of course, Ground Zero 3rd place minimum. So that game tomorrow is going to be deciding 3rd place, and then we'll have the grand finals, and that's going to be whoever wins against between the two. Whoever wins between Ground Zero and Vulcan Red will be versing Chopper Mag in the grand finals. And then Liger, we get to decide who heads towards DreamHack, who heads towards Atlanta.
Unreal stakes higher than ever before. We're talking about the grand finals. We're talking about a $1 million prize pool at the end of the line of Ignite here this year. But before we get there, we still got to sort things out here in OCE. But I think it's time for an interview.
I think it is too. Let's welcome one of our amazing winners from Vulcan Red. Let's have a chat with one of the winners.
Hello.
Daxu! Congratulations on winning. How does it feel to be able to take this victory after you got 2-0'd by Kanga in the group stage to now 3-0 them? And also, not only how does it feel, I want to know a little bit of your thoughts and your insights behind what you think made the biggest difference on the changes between the two games and how you were able to secure this victory.
I'm ecstatic we won. I think we should have won in the group stage, but we had some problems. We played quite poorly, and it happens. But I think the biggest thing for us was that our game against Chopper Mag, it helped us find our biggest weaknesses and what we struggle with. And from yesterday and just VOD reviews today helped us a ton.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
that's what we like to hear. Beautiful. So you guys worked on your weaknesses, you figured them out, and you hit the books, hit the shell, hit whatever you got to hit within each other's hearts to actually make it through and get yourselves that nice reverse situation and get yourself that 3-0. What I want to know, Dex, to you specifically, there's a bit of a situation here. You used to be on Kanga Esports. How does it feel to beat your old team?
It's a bit of happy and a bit of sad. We split in a very good way. There was no hard feelings, so it's quite sad. But also I'm happy because I am coming out on top. I've already seen messages from them. We've already messaged each other saying GG's and good luck. But yeah, it's a both happy and sad feeling. That's
good. Well, bit of sportsmanship. We respect it. We love that. But, we'll bring it back down a bit here as we know it's a big day tomorrow for you. You've locked yourself into the top 3 for Marvel Rivals Ignite OCE. You're going to face against Ground Zero. Now, how does Vulcan Red feel right now going into tomorrow's match?
We're feeling very good. We have prepped extensively for the 3 games with Kanga, GZ, and Chopper Mag. We have prepped extensively. We are ready. We have watched every game they played. We're ready.
No, I'm super excited to watch that game tomorrow and to cast it, of course, as well, because I think it's going to be super exciting to see this matchup between you two, because we haven't really seen you guys verse here in stage 2 before between Vulcan Red and Ground Zero Gaming. So I think there's a lot of unknowns in this matchup coming up. And yeah, it would be cool to see how things go tomorrow. Do you think we'll be seeing any other interesting picks coming out? We've been seeing Angela today, and Angela then got banned in the next 2 games that followed. Will we be seeing Angela tomorrow, without spoiling anything too much, of course? And is there anything else you guys have been cooking up that we could see maybe tomorrow?
We have some new things ready. We've gatekept a little bit, not too much. We've preferred to use everything no matter what. But I can't say on the Angela pick. That's for Tinny to say. I will not talk for him. But yeah, we don't have too much in store, but we have a few that I think people will like. I think it'll be fun to watch.
You are a very fun team to watch. You always bring surprises out. The first team to play Angela, and now other teams are playing Angela, and I think Angela is looking really good currently in our little OCE scene. So thank you so much for your team to bring out these exciting plays, and congratulations on winning. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you so much for the interview. It's been a pleasure. I hope you rest up and VOD review and come back refreshed tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll be ready.
Good luck. There it is. Beautiful interview with Daxu. Vulcan Red, Ricey, they're feeling really good, really happy. A big win for them today. And like Daxu